Now we're going to move to the lower part of the design, which is the dark section here. First, we're going to create the main layer, which is this layout that's going to be here. So let's play along with this and see what we have. So first of all, we're going to create this. This is the 3 columns. We want to create the dark section. So let's call it dark section. Whatever just comes to mind is what I'm using for the name. BG. So with that dark BG, we're going to have IMG, and the IMG is going to be images slash Kyobaba photo. Boom. So we have it there. Kyobaba photo. All right. So let's reduce this. Do the dark BG, do the Kyobaba photo before we do the top element. And this top element is going to be the 2 sections of rows here and the row here. And then we do have this one over here, but this is going to come in last. So let's just do the text element. Let's call that text holder. And in there is going to be 2 classes. One is going to be the gate fees, and then the artist. So let's just put dot fees, and then we have another set of items that will be the artist. So we're going to just say K here, and then we're going to just say N here for Naira, just so we see that we have 2 elements there. Now it's going to be difficult to see that because we haven't styled anything here. We just have classes, and take note of the classes because we are going to be targeting these elements using the classes. So let's start with this guy, Kyobaba photo, and over here we're going to go over. Okay. So let's give it a width first of 300 pixel and a height of auto. Good. So let's come over to this one and say that the dark background is this way. This is dark BG. Let's take the dark BG and give it a black dot dark BG. That makes sense, right? Background color of 000. Okay. And it's going to have a width of 100 pixel. Let's make it position relative. So we have color white for dark BG right there. Kyobaba is with a height of that. So if we actually say that the width, if we say the width is 100% and that the height is 400 pixel, and we say object fit, and we say contain, so the dark section here is going to be the dark section position relative, and this one can be position absolute with the width of 100% and bottom of 0. So it starts from the base here and it's going to go right up. So if we do this, we see that the Kyobaba is always going to stay in the middle right there. So what we need to is bump him up a little bit more by taking the margin. Let's try minus that and see what we have there. Very close. So let's make this 90. Good. So for this one, the dark background is you're going to have a minimum height. So let's place a minimum height of 300 pixel there, a z-index of 0, and give this one a z-index of 2, and this one can be position relative. Let's cut this, let's reduce this, and for the height of this we can take the minimum height down to 200 and take this one back to 90, right? So we have a bit of challenge here at the bottom here because we have a minimum height of this. But before we do that, let us go ahead and work on the top holder so that we can find out where that is, because the top holder could be also color, could also be making it difficult for us to spot something. So let's make that position relative and give it a z-index. Let's try an absolute. Let's try an absolute there, and let's find out whether we can find the text. Yeah, there's one text. No, this one text belongs to this guy. So let's make this width of 100. Okay, so let's display, flex, let's justify content, space between. So we have this right here and we have this right here. So we've got both of them, both of the items here. And the next we have to do is type this text out and then see what we do. Let's have a margin 60 pixel left and right. So we're able to have this. So next thing we've got to do is type this out, and I'm going to type one of it, one section of this one, and go ahead and let's speed this up. I'm going to type this whole thing 1, 3, and show you the double sections that we're going to have. So let's go create the markup for that. Okay, so we have the amount, a little dot just for the design as a design element. We have the description. So the description is going to be this part here, and it's 2 rows with a single column. We have 3 columns here, all of that. So this, and there's an underline beneath all of this. So we will create this one of them, and then I will duplicate to create the others. So I'm going to take the rates here, which is the rate. I'm going to make 2 copies of it. And so when I save that, this is what we have. The second copy, we have 500K executive tables. We have 500K. Then we have executive tables. So let's go ahead and begin to style this. First, we're going to target this one so that we can have 3 columns of flex items for this. That's how it goes. A simple design. So we're going to say rates, just rates here. Let's copy rates, go to the style, do a dot rates, display that as flex, and boom, so we have that there. We're going to say flex amount. Let's target the amount, or let's target let's target the amount first of all, which is the flex amount here, the rates amount. We're going to say dot rates dot amount. We're going to say font size 2M, font weight 900. So we have that right there. And for this, we would say align items center. Okay, good. So for the rates there, we would actually do a font size of something like a 0.8 ems, or let's make that 6, or could we make or descript. Let's just take this out, and let's take this out. So let's do rates dot description, make that 0.7. Yeah, that should do. And for this, we're going to create a gap of 4 pixel. Let's see what 4 pixel will look like. Does it look close? 4 pixel is a bit too small. Let's make it 8 pixel. Okay. So for the rates, for the description there, we also going to have it as a flex, display flex. With the flex direction of column. Right? So we have that. No margins, nothing. Line height. So we're going to also include the white border, white border. Oh, okay, so sorry. So rates here, we enter bottom border, and you could see that we can quickly have the bottom border. I think we'll make that 1 pixel. So you have 1 pixel bottom border right there. Right there. I would really, really love this element to be an absolute element with the bottom of 0. And then we could begin to figure out whatever else we want to do with top margins and left margins and no margins and all of that. You know, if we need to pull this down, we put it down. But I'll prefer this. So let's duplicate this how many times more? 3 more times. So let's go. To 30. Okay, something very close to that will work, but we still need to space this up a little bit more, create rooms like create rooms like that and get everything up going. Okay, so this is for this. We will still have another black BG, something like a black BG at the bottom that way. But let's quickly sort this out. Artists. So we're going to go line heights, this, line height 7. Okay, good. So that does it. So we've been able to push these items in. As for this padding, to bring them closer to the objects here, we still need to do like 120 around this. So let's see if 120 is too much. 120 seems a bit too much. Let's do a 100 and do a text align. Let's do a text align, right. So that gives us this, which we have here, and let's do a later spacing for that. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be the center. There are other things. Take, for example, these tickets that we have here. So if we actually go to the holder here is this dark BG with a position of absolute, which is this dark BG here. The dark BG, this very one. If we try something, we could do a dark BG before and have a content of tickets, have a transform, rotates, let's rotate by 90 degrees. So let's rotate that by 90 degrees. No perspective required. So let's rotate by minus 90 degrees. right? And then we're going to do a top 0, on the left 0. So let's do a translate. Translate X. Let's do let's say 30 pixel, right? And let's also do a translate X, and do that with 50 pixel. All right, that's going to be a minus. Okay, so we have that ticket there. Can then do a line, a letter spacing of 1 So let's get this done. So something similar to that, but you see the words there, it's pretty small, it's tiny. And then we can position that wherever we want. We can start positioning it. We can take that off completely. And we can come over this way and say this one should be 70 or this one should be 100. Okay, so having done that, we take this, copy it, call participants. It's going to be after, and this is going to be that one. So we're going to say, so let's keep going. Okay, let's now go -20, -60, -80, just like that. Let's go. Okay, all right then, friends, we almost done with the design, and this is just pure CSS and HTML. See that? Watch that resizing. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and then we're going to place the final image over here. And how are we going to do that? That's going to be another trick game. But we do have something before that. We have this guy over here. This guy, let's just say design here. And let's try to leverage this. Let's say design. It does show. So we place that there, and we say this one is going to be quite big, larger size, so that it can cover, it could cover this part of this design for us. You see that? So we're going to make this 40. 40 really doesn't do it quite right, but yeah, just like everything else, shrinking and sinking and going downwards, this is what we have. So if we put this up on our web page, or if we size this up, we get something as big as this. So using media query, we probably would do something different. If you size this up, you get it looking like this. Okay, so this is a long one, but we have taken this graphic image right here, which was just a design for social media, and we have played around with it, and we've gotten this plain text element using Flexbox, CSS, and all of that. So everything here, you could see them being placed, all of this. All. So they are all type text. So you can pretty much see how much you can do with CSS and HTML. All right, this is a pretty long lesson. I'm Steward Godwin Jornsen, and hope to see you in some of the other lessons and classes. Let me know what you've learned in this one. Let me see what you've tried. Let me see what you've built. And we continue to build from there. And don't miss the event. It's Kebaba on duty, Mayor of Pitakwa. Something I'm missing out here, right? When we scale up, we tend to not have a guy overlapping at the top there. So on the dark section, so now we have everything coming together. So you could pretty much see that everything coming together. And then for the very last part of this lesson are the sponsors of the event. But I think we've had enough for this class, and you could simply introduce those using the same concept of flexbox. You have the dark section ending here. You enter in logos. You should push your logo right up to that point. Then you have logos. We have logos here, supported logo 01, supported logo 02, things like that. So if you come over, supported logo 1, and then if you look at it, you will see logo 1, logo there. So that's what we have. So we have this. This is supported logo. Right. So let's look at it. We start from 2 right up to 12. So you could see all the logos right now, looking pretty awkward the way they are, but when we go back to our style or CSS, we're going to target the logos, IMG, all of the images. Will give them a width of 100 pixel and a height of auto. We're going to still drop that, give them a much smaller width. Something pretty small, so let's give them a height width of 40. Good, and so it's like that, but you look at it here, it's not really done. We are going to come to object fit and say contain, and that's going to help it fit better. And then we are going to go to .logos and display flex again, but this time we're going to use a place content, and we're going to just say center. So that's done. In case there are spacings or margins, we could say padding, just give us 20 pixels. Pixel is fine. And there you go. There you have it. Your logos are all now placed. The logos are now placed, and our designs still intact, doesn't break. We could purely resize, and there you go. Flexible, scalable. See, you can zoom right in and out. Okay, so let me know what you've learned and what you wish to learn. I'm sure that this practice must have taught you a thing or two. Share what you've learned, and let's continue to build the web.